We have with us Mr. Pavitra Fernando, the president, newly elected president of the SLR, that is Sri Lankan Rugby. Congratulations, Mr. Pavitra Fernando, for your appointment. So this has been a bit of a controversial period, and then you have been appointed, and hopefully everyone is focused on you now. Expecting you to make the necessary changes. So, what has been your journey throughout to be appointed to this position?
Well, with regards to this election, initially the reason I came forward was, if you are aware, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the same people are coming. There was a lot of same thing going on for same people rotating, and Sri Lanka Rugby finally ended up in a bit of a rut with a lot of legal cases getting banned from the international governing body and then finally getting dissolved. And the players were the ones who got mainly hurt, and all the other people, such as the coaches, match officials, and everyone, because there's no rugby. And this really showed in the rankings. If you've seen prior to 2018, we were at second place in Asia, and in the men's, and fourth place in the women's. But at the start of this tournament, prior to the start of the first leg of the tournament in China, Sri Lanka was ranked, men's team was ranked 12th, and the women's team ranked 16th. However, the men's team now has come up to 4th after the Chinese tournament, and women came up to 9th. So that's a big drop overall, and we need to get back to playing competitive rugby and going on all the tours and making sure that we take this game forward. Otherwise, the players are not going to get the rest that they deserve, and they're going to start stopping, leaving. Most people that come out of school are now thinking of not even playing, continuing rugby. So that's because there is no future.
Yeah.
So we are here, that we have a task. We need to make sure that we change that. So that's the plan, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great point that you said, that you have to have the players' best interest in this game if you want to sustain the game as well. So, what are the future plans you have in store as an ex-player and a person who has been advocating for the rights of the players? What are the
the main thing, the first thing you have to do is you start contracting the players, so at the moment, because if you don't contract the players, it's really difficult to build a side. For example, in the first leg of this 7 series, four of the players that played in the first leg of the 7 series not available for this. They made themselves unavailable due to various reasons. So that makes it very difficult to build a side. So they've gone on tour, they got the exposure, and now we have to start with 4 fresh players. So it's pretty much nearly impossible to build a competitive side and play with teams who are fully professional and playing together for months and years together. So if we want to move forward, the first step is that we contract our players. We start contracting our 7 players immediately, score of 20 players, because our short-term immediate target is to win a medal at the Asian Games. So hopefully, as soon as we finish we want to start. We are rushing to start our League 15th tournament as scheduled on the 15th of November, and then finish both the 15th and League and knockout by the first week of March, so we can have those 7 tournaments, and then we will select the final 20 squad and contract them and pay them from Sri Lanka Rugby, and they'll be fully professional training schedule. They'll be supplemented, they will be fitness tested, monitored, and we'll be going for that.
Okay, there seems to be a really great and bright future for the players as well as for the game. Anything you want to ask the audience or the spectators?
Yes, I mean, I'm not sure if you saw this the Japan game. these Japanese boys have a lot of money, a lot of foreign players playing for them, but still we were just one score away. And that's with only a 1 month, 1.5 months training, non-played players without any payments for these boys. So hopefully, what I would like to ask is we have our final game, third place playoff. The tickets are free, entrance is free. We opened it out. Come and support our team, and then get behind us. Would ask all the stakeholders also to support our plans. Our plans are not in the benefit of any one club or any or trying to how would I say trying to eliminate any one club, but in the betterment of the game of Sri Lankan rugby. Our entire policy is about how we safeguard and improve Sri Lankan rugby players and to make sure that they stay in the game and make it attractive for the sponsors and bring the crowds back into the game.
Any message to sponsors as well?
Sure, yes. I'm meeting with lots of sponsors coming out to the league because usually with upcoming domestic tournaments next week, usually the sponsors are tied up a few months ahead of this, but we have been given a very difficult task because we just got appointed. But what I would like to say to sponsors is we're bringing back, for example, we bring back foreign players. We have included the grand final to the league tournament. We're making changes. This is not going to be the same tournament, the club tournament that's been there in the last few years. And we're doing a lot of tweaks and a lot of changes, and it's going to be really interesting. It's a good time to partner with us. We'd like to grow together as a family. Thank you.